Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope everyone is fine and safe at home, and your studies is also going well. So in today's video lecture, I will continue with the same topic, which is operators. And in today, we will see what are the rest of the operators which is available in Python. So we will start with the operator, which is identity operator. Till now we had seen all the arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators. Today we will see identity operator as well as the membership operator. So let us begin with identity operator. What does it mean? So identity operators are two in Python. One is operator and the second one is not operator. The name of the operator is, second is not. Okay. So what is the purpose? Let us see. These operators are used to check if both object means the variables are pointing to same memory address or not. The variables are referring to the same memory location or not, and accordingly it will produce the result. So we will see the example, but before seeing the example we will first see what is operator and how it performs. So operator returns true, as in the case of relational operator, then the logical operator. Both these operator returns the boolean value true and false. So this identity operator also returns true as well as false, the boolean value. Okay, so this operator returns true if both object means both the variable or operands are pointing to the same memory location. Operator will return true if both its operand, because it is a binary operators, so both the operands must point to the same memory location, then only it will produce the result as true, otherwise it will return false. Just look at the example here. The value 10 is assigned into the variable x. Now you are comfortable with that, because in the last class also I have told you how to declare the variable, what is variable, what is literal or constant, what do you mean by operator. So this particular statement x equal to 10 means x, we are assigning the value 10 or the literal 10 into the variable x. The same way y and z is assigned the values. So x10, y20 and z10, and I have used the identity operator is over here as x is y, as in the case of x plus y, then the both x as well as y value will get added, but here I have used x is y, so it will return either true or false. So let us see what it will return. So as you can see, x value is 10, y value is 20. So here both the object is not pointing to the same location. One is pointing to the x and one is pointing to the 20. So both are different, 10 and 20 are different location, that is why it will return false. But in the case of x and z, both are pointing to the same location, so x and z, x is z, return true. So in this way you need to evaluate if the memory location will be same, or the variable or object, both the operands x as well as y, here the operands are x and y, are pointing to the same location, then only operator will return true, otherwise it will return false. So this is about the operator. Next is not operator. So not will return true if both its operand are not pointing to the same memory location. It is just the opposite of operator. Okay, so if they both operands are not pointing to the same location, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So you can see here x10, the same value I have taken x, y and z respectively, and here x is not y. The operator what I have used, identity operator is not. Is not is an identity operator which will return true if both its operands are not pointing to the same location. So x is pointing to the location 10, y is pointing to the location 20. So both are not pointing to the same location. That is why it returns true. X is not y. Yes, x is not y because x is 10 and y is 20. 20 they are both are pointing. But x is z. X is pointing to 10 and z is assigned as 10. Now z is also 10 and x is also 10. So x is z will return false because both are not pointing to the same location. So is not is just the reverse of is operator. So this is about the identity operator. So the question maybe you are thinking of how to find the memory location or memory address of the object. The identity operator works on the memory location. So to find out or to return the memory location, we will use the function id. The name of the function is id. Identity operator is as well as is not work upon the memory location. Okay, so you should know how to see or how to check the address of the memory location. So to check the address or memory location of any object or variable, id function is used. The definition of id function will be, it is a built-in function. Built-in function means it is already created by the compiler. It is already there. You are not, we people or the user are not supposed to create it. It is built in, means ready-made function, only you need to use it. So it is a built-in function which returns the id, that is the memory location of the object. Okay, it returns the id means the memory location of any variable. For example, I have assigned the value x equal to 10. So here you can see 3 greater than symbols are there. That means these examples I have taken it with the help of interactive mode. In the last practical class I have told you 2 modes are there. One is interactive mode, another one is script mode. So these all things I have written in the interactive mode. Okay, where you will see 3 greater than symbol. As soon as you will enter the command, that time only you will get the result. So this is about the interactive mode. So this whole statements or script I have written under the script under the interactive mode. So x equal to 10 and id of x. If I want to see what is the memory location of x, then it returns 144512707. This result is the output of this result is the output for the memory location x. id of x will return 144512707. What value is going to return by the compiler or interpreter, we people are not aware of it because memory address we are not able to see internally. So any value will be returned by the interpreter of the Python. So 144512707 is the memory address of variable x. id function work over here, and this function returns the memory location of the variable x. And the same way, if I want to see what is the id of this 10 or in which memory location it has stored, so in the second time I have given the command as id of 10. So id of 10 returns the same value as id of x returns. That means x as well as 10 both pointing to the same location, same memory address. Okay, so if id of 10 you will write, then 144512707. You can see both these memory locations are same. So by the arrow mark it is written as memory address of value 10, and this is the memory address of variable x, because here you have specified x under its argument of id function, and here you have specified the value, this value, particular value which you have stored under x. So both values x as well as variable x pointing to the same location. So The above script, a script means the code what we have written, display the ID of variable x and value 10. Both these script returns the above script returns both the variable x as well as value 10's ID are same. Since the memory location of variable x is same as the location to which the value 10 is referring to. In Python, this is a very important line regarding the Python. In Python, variable is not a storage location, rather a label pointing to a value object. Okay, so in rest of the programming language, we define the variable as it is a location, storage location in the memory. But here we will refer, in Python we will refer, it is not a storage location, it is a labeling, it is a label which pointing to a value. So 10x is a label which is pointing to the value 10. You can say like that. I will come to this very point, what is variable, what is memory location again. But in this point of time, at this point of time, just think about that, how to check the address or memory location of any variable or any value. By the help of id function we can do so. Clear? And how it will be checked? This is the code. So you can apply it practically. Okay. Next we will see about the equality, that is the equal to versus identity. Both a little bit same, but it is different too. So in which case equality as well as identity, that is or is not operator is same, and in which case it is false, we will see it. So equality means the equal to operator, or identity means the is. So is as well as equal to works same way in some point of time, but the result will be different. So in which case it is same and in which case it is different, that we will see now. So when we will compare two variables, suppose x and y, pointing to same value, that is x is equal to 10, y equal to 10, then both equality and identity will return true, obviously, because they both are pointing to the same location. So identity operator will return true, and equality operator checks the value of both the operand. In that way also it is true. For example, x equal to 10, y equal to 10. So both the value of x as well as y are same. So if you will compare x value with y value using the operator equal to, this is the relational operator, or you can say the comparison operator. So it will return true because 10 and 10 are same. And in this case x is y. X is y is comparing with the memory location. Each operator compares the memory location. So x memory location 10, x is referring to the memory location 10, as well as y is also referring to the memory location 10. So both the cases x is y returns true. So in this case, when x value 10, y value 10 variables are defined, both equality as well identity returns true. Okay, but in few cases, when two variables are pointing to same value, equal to will return true and is will return false. But there are the cases when two variables are pointing to the same value, but equal to will return true and is will return true. In previous case it was true, but in some of the cases it will be false. Which one? Is will be false and equal to will be true. So we will see what are that cases where this condition will be fulfilled. So through the example I have taken it over here. S1 is a variable, and under this variable Kerali, this is the string value is stored under the quotes. So S1 equal to Kerali. Another variable I have taken as S2, and here one new thing you are able to see here as input enter any string. So input is name of the function which is used to take the value by the help of user through keyboard. So here when you will use this very input enter any string input command input function, when you will use for taking the value, then as soon as you will press the enter key, you will get the information as enter any string. It means you need to enter any string, and here the cursor will blink to take the value from the keyboard, to take the value from you, to take the value from the user. Okay, so here I think it is clear now that what input function returns. Okay, so input enter any string. In that way you need to enter any string. I have entered Carolee, so that I can show you the differences between the equal to and is operator. So in that way S1 as well as S2 both have the same literal, and this literal is string literal. Carolee value as well as again in S2 Carolee value. So both S1 and S2 are same. And third variable I have taken as S3 equal to Carolee. Whenever there is a equal to symbol, that means you need to think that now some value is going to assign in the variable. Whenever this type of statement will be written, S1 equal to or S2 equal to or S3 equal to, means some value should be assigned into the variable. So S1 Carolee, S2 is also Carolee, and S3 is again Carolee. So how many variables right now? There are 3 variables, S1, S2, S3. And the statement I have written as S1 equal to S2. So value of S1 is Carolee, value of S2 is also Carolee. So both are same, so it will return true. No problem for equal to operator. But as soon as I will write it, S1 is S2, S1 is Carolee and S2 is also Carolee. But in this case you will see the value returns as false. Okay. The third script I have written, S1 is S3, S1 is Carolee and S3 is Carolee. Both are Carolee string, so it will return true. But what about this very case? Why this S1 and S2 returns false? Okay, so I will come to just next slide how this will become false. But at the same time you can see here, if I will take ID of S1, S1 stores Carolee, so I took the memory address of S1 by the help of ID. It returns 7042642. This is the location of S1. ID of S2, 59841440, and ID of S3 7042642, and under the bracket in both the above and the below one, the same I have written the term as same. This memory location and this one is same. That means ID of S1 and S3 are same. I have explicitly assign the value Carolee in both the variable S1 and S3. But in the case of S2, I am taking the input of S2 with the help of input function. Therefore, when you will take the value with the help of input function, even if the string will be same, but the memory address will be different, as in the case of this statement, ID of S2 59841440, means it is totally different with S1 as well as with S3. That means is operator will return false when the variable value will be taken it with the help of user, with the help of input function. Therefore, we can come into that conclusion that what are the few cases where the is operator returns false. The few cases Python creates two different objects that store the same value. In the case of S1, store Carolee. In the case of S2 stores carefully, but S1 directly we have assigned the value carefully, and in S2 the value is provided with the help of user. So these are the two different object is created. Okay, so these are the 3 points that you need to remember. What are the few cases where the is operator does not return true? Okay, so first case is input of string from the console or keyboard. As in the case of S2, we have entered the value with the help of keyboard. Therefore, the strings are same in both S1 as well as S2. But S1 value we have assigned directly, like S1 equal to carefully under the quotes, but S2 value we have assigned indirectly by the help of user, that is input enter the string. Input function we had used, so we had entered the value with the help of keyboard. Therefore different objects created for that particular function. The second case is dealing with large integer value. When there will be a very large integer value is stored under the two variables, and dealing with the floating point and complex literals. Floating point value or the complex value if you have written, then in that way you can see there that it will returns comparison operator each will return the two different locations, or id is operator will not return true even if the values are same. So these are the 3 cases which you need to remember. Okay, next we will see the operators as membership. Till now we had discussed only about the identity operator, is and is not, and for is on is not how it will execute I had told you regarding the id function. Now the next one is the membership operator. The membership operators tests for membership in a sequence such as string, list or tuple. These two terminology, list as well as tuples, are the data types in Python. When I will come to the data type topic, I will explain more about list and tuples. Till now you just consider about the string, that membership operator test for the membership in a sequence such as string. If any string you have taken and you want to check whether any particular character is present in that very string or not, then we will be using the membership operator. It is of 2 types. First one is in operator and the second one is not in operator. So first we will see about the in operator. As identity operator is there, in as a membership operator it is in operator. So it evaluates to true if it finds a variable in the specified sequence. In operator will return true. Membership operator will also return boolean value true as well as false. So it will return true if it finds a variable in the specified sequence. If any variables are there in the sequence or not, if it will be available, then it will return true. Otherwise, if it will not be available, it will return false. For example, here s equal to welcome. Welcome is string is assigned into the variable s, and then you are using with the help of in operator, you have given the character, one character here, w in s, means you are checking that you are testing that w is present in s or not. S is what here? S is the variable where welcome is stored, isn't it? So w is present in s, w is present in welcome, so it will return true. Yes, it is present. But in the case of G in S, G is present in S. Are you able to find the G character over here and into the variable welcome? G is nowhere. So G is G in S. So it will return false. Okay. So this in operator will return true and false based upon the character or the variables are present in a sequence or not. Second one is not in operator, just opposite of in, not in. So it evaluates to true if it does not finds a variable in the specified sequence. If it will not find it, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. You can see in the example, S equal to welcome. Same string I have assigned and I am checking it. I am testing it here with the help of membership operator. T not in S, so it will return true. Yes, T is not in S. S is the complete string. And E not in S. E is not in S. It will return false because E is present in S. So in that way you will evaluate the membership operator. So whatever examples I am giving you, you need to practice it in system. Okay. So the last topic I have taken it over here as chained comparison operator. Comparison operator, I have already told you, like the all relational operator is also known as comparison operator. So if you have written something with the help of comparison operator, 2-3 things you have written it regarding that, means comparison operator with the help of logical operator, you can say. Chained comparison operator means you have written the relational operator, comparison operators, comparison expression, and that comparison expressions you have joined it with and or. It means you have used comparison as well as logical operator. Then how it will be performed or how it will be chained. So Python can chain multiple comparison which are like shortened version of larger Boolean expressions. The larger Boolean expressions can be shortened by the help of chained multiple comparison, or you can simply say the chained comparison operator. So here it is, rather than writing 10 less than 20 and 20 less than 30, we can even write it with the help of chained comparison operator as 10 less than 20, 20 which is less than 30. So the same thing, 10 less than 20, yes, 10 is less than 20 and 20 less than 30. So when the comparison operator is written by the help of logical operator and, that only can be chained, isn't it? So 10 less than 20 less than 30. So this whole statement, that's the long one, the larger expression has become now short. Okay, so we are shortening the large Boolean expression into the smaller version or shortened version by the help of chaining. So which is the chained version of Boolean expression 10 less than 20 and 20 less than 30. So this is the chained version. Which one? 10 less than 20 less than 30 is the chained version of this very expression. Clear? Now another situation is there. Suppose we want to check age is greater than or equal to 13 and less than or equal to 19. So two things are relating here. Age is greater than or equal to 13 and less than or equal to 19. If this situation arises, how you will be writing with the help of chained version? So we will write using the chained condition as 13 less than equal to age less than equal to 19. What does it mean? It means that age is less than or equal, age is greater than or equal to 13. Age is greater than or equal to 13 and age is less than or equal to 19. So this very expression is written now with the help of chained expressions. Similarly, if we want to check A is greater than B and C and A is greater than B and C, So what should we write in that way? If you have the situation that A is greater than B and C, then what should we write? So we write it as here B less than A, greater than equal to C. So you can think like that, A is greater than B and C. So A is greater than C as well as A is greater than B. So this you need to read it as A is less than B less than equal to A means B is less than A. Just reverse it, A is greater than B. So A is greater than B will be written like that using the chaining expressions. So this is one of the way to understand. Otherwise simply you can write A is like this, A is greater than B and B, again you will write here B is greater than A. But there is another way to write the expressions. It is not compulsory that you need to write in that way only the relational expressions. Whichever is feasible to you, that way you can write down. But the thing is that you should know how to change the expression, and if the questions will be there, find the output of that, and then A, B and C value are provided to you, then you need to understand what does it mean. So it means A is greater than B as well as C. So you need to practice it. Okay. So whatever I have taught in the class, please you do refer from the book, then only it will make you clear how it will be done, and do the practical also for the same. Thank you so much. The next class I will take about rest of the topic of the first lesson. Okay. Till now, take care. Goodbye.